Previously, on the Lineage of Moonreach. We were in Mandoran's tower when we heard a rapping on the door. We opened it to find a small raven, and quoth that raven, "Follow?" So we followed it through Deepminster all the way to the Tower of Wisdom, where we met with Delane Oceanbinder. He proved to be the typical level of helpful, as we've come to expect from the people in this country. And in typical fashion, he left us alone in his office. So of course we snooped around, found that we could move a gigantic bookcase, and with Gorbel's brilliant ingenuity, we were able to move it, found a door, and of course I had a key from another door, so who wouldn't expect that key to fit in every keyhole? Upon opening the door, we were face to face with a golden dragon.
The D20 Syndicate presents The Lineage of Moonreach. Welcome back to the D20 Syndicate podcast.
The best Rummy Cup podcast in the Midwest.
Better not bring your kids!
I hope you like Rummy Cub because that's about to go down.
I don't know what Rubby Cub is.
What are you talking about? What
It's that weird old person tabletop game. I think there's pegs involved or something.
You're talking about Rummy?
Rummy Cub.
Is this a dream?
Why are you adding cub to it? It's just Rummy.
No.
Are you talking about Gin Rummy?
Rummy Cub. RUMMIKUB. Look it up.
Tummy cum?
It's Cub with a K?
If we're doing a Rummy Cub podcast, we better know how it fucking works.
And how it's spelled, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Can you write it down for me?
I just spelled it.
Oh, no,
Sorry,
our
you saying
website has the C.
Sorry, are you saying rub and a tug?
Rubby Tug.
A weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play podcast. I am your host and DM, Seth, and around the table of the internet, we have our players.
I'm Billy, and I play Willem.
I'm Tomas, I play Tomar.
I'm Lindsey, and I play Pinwin. And I'm Michaela, and I play Gorbel.
That's right. Each week we record for your listening pleasure. This is episode 96.
Yeah. It's very bizarre because we're recording on the internet again, like we were. But yesterday we were actually in person for the first time.
We broke quarantine.
Yep, for multiple months. It was our first time meeting face to face.
3 months.
The chocolate milk famine.
And none of us liked it.
Yes, we decided to immediately go back to the internet.
I love
it.
Disperse.
We were like, too much legs. I counted all your toes. Glad to see they're all still there.
For now.
But not all our toenails.
Quarantine treated those feet well.
Soft and supple.
Just constantly in a salt bath.
You haven't been wearing shoes. Slippers only.
Pampered.
My feet suddenly feel gross as fuck.
All right, it's time for tonight's Around the Campfire question.
Huh.
You still sound like a Bunsen burner.
Was that an ambulance?
This fire's gotten out of control.
It's Robocop!
Oh, God.
And Judge Dredd comes in. I am the
The Stallone version, obviously.
Yeah.
Not the Carl Urban?
The better version is the urban.
Give me the urban.
The urban version.
The urban version.
And it's
Urban
far
version.
superior to Keith Urban's version.
Take the hat off, Keith. No, it's kind of my thing. Take it off!
All right, tonight's Around the Campfire question is, tell me what your favorite plant or other form of flora in the world of Argaria is. And we will start with Gorbel.
I haven't met that many plants, and I don't know if I've really interacted with enough to have a good opinion, but I have had a lengthy conversation with Leithandria, and she seemed great.
So your answer is Leothandria?
Yes.
Cop-out answer.
I haven't talked to any others.
Starfucker.
You don't have to talk to a plant to like it. Anyway,
Well,
I'm
then
not
I would
here.
be judging it based on what?
How cool it looks,
Well, I'm not that shallow.
or its taste, or how much it messes you up when you eat it.
I don't know if I like your plant criteria.
I don't like your attitude, Pinwin.
I know.
This is a crowded booth. All right, so
I thought it was-
Leothandria
yeah. I thought
is
it was just
Gorbel's
my
answer. Pinwin, what's your favorite plant or flora?
Okay, so over in Shadeholm, there's this one plant, and I'm not really big on, what is it, botany? I don't exactly know the plant itself's name, but they're kind of fun because they're wild cards and they shoot out this fruit at you at random. We kind of played games with it as a kid. When I'd get bored, I'd just hang out by the plant and then it'd shoot out the fruits, and we called the fruit Foots. And they tasted really Foots.
Oh, Foots.
Yeah, it's fruit.
You just dropped the R?
Yeah.
What are tell me about these Foots.
So the Foots are extremely flavorful. They're a mix of sweet but also sour, and they're like red and not fluffy. I don't know, maybe fluffy. Like they're, what's that word? Red and
Fuzzy.
sure, yeah, red and plump. They got some lumps. It's good food. And you never know when it's gonna come, so it just makes your day when you're walking by and you just get a food shot at you. You're like, yes.
So it's the Foot shooter is what the plant is?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. It is the food shooter.
The old fruit shooting food.
Foot shooter.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
The foot shooting boogie.
Lindsey just added a homebrew monster.
Yeah.
A level 1 homebrew monster, the Foot shooter.
It looks like a bell sprout.
5th edition is lacking in plant-type creatures, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely
All right.
need like a Resident Evil 1 type plant boss monster.
Except way cuter. I like to think that when it shoots out, it just goes like, beep.
Ugh.
I like the idea of a monster doing that too, though.
Role-playing that fight. That'll be our first fight in the next campaign.
All right, Tomar, tell me about your favorite plant or flora.
Try and beat
on-
food shooter.
On the eastern border of Valtel, when it starts getting more hot and temperate, there's this flower called Ikari's Flame. It's named as such because the petals look like they're swirling around each other, and they have like a gradient that goes from like a bright yellow to a dark red, and they look like kind of like candles. They don't glow, but they really stick out in the area that they grow. There isn't anything super special about them as far as I know, but they just look really pretty, and they look like fire, and I like that.
Very cool.
Have you even talked to him?
No, I don't
Do
talk
they,
to plants
do they
usually.
shoot fruit at you?
Nope, no fruit.
Okay.
All right, Ikari's Flame. Willem, tell me about yours.
So the plant that I'm more fond of, I guess, if I had to pick one, I'm not, as Pinwin stated, I'm also not much of a botanist, or into horticulture in general, but, I do find what's called the phantom plume appealing. It's found mostly in more desert climates, and its petals are a stark white, almost to the point of translucency. And it doesn't ever actually die. When it sheds its older petals, new petals just come in. And the only time that it actually sees color is in the springtime. When the new petals form, it has kind of a yellowish tinge to it. And it almost gives it like, it doesn't make sense, but it's almost like a yellow iridescence in the springtime when the new petals come in.
Oh,
it's also
pretty.
the easiest to take care of. Like, you can't mess it up. So I like that a lot too. Kind of a set it and forget it situation.
Sounds like a sexy plant.
I like it.
Very nice. All right. Well, we've got the Phantom Plume, the Akari's Flame, and the Foot Shooter's Foot, and of course, Leothandria. Let's hop on in.
I wonder if you're gonna like Leothandria as much by the end of this. There's some weird tree business going on.
I think I may have misunderstood the question.
Ask me again. Ask me again.
All right, so when we last left off, you guys had opened up this door after Delane Oceanbinder's room had seemingly shifted, and it seemed as though it had gone subterranean. And you guys walked down this passageway and, using Willem's key, opened the door, and there you were, standing in front, face to face, with a golden dragon, breathing like hot steam coming out of its nostrils. The inside of the chamber is massive. There's vaulted stone ceilings that look very old, and Tomar, you would recognize that this is similar to some of the stuff that you have seen in Deepminster, but also when you guys were in the abandoned city in the Gods Valley. Very similar design and structure in this chamber. As you are a big fan of stone, you picked up on that pretty much instantly. And this chamber stretches far, far back, and it looks like there's several different tunnels in the back as well. There's multiple layers, platforms with different doors on them. And once the initial shock kind of wears off, you guys realize that either the dragon hasn't noticed you or something else is going on. And immediately, you guys begin to start connecting the dots, looking around, and it appears as if there's some sort of magical sort of dome cast over the dragon. The dragon himself is large, very, very large, probably 80 feet long. Its back goes up about 10 to 15 feet. It's a big boy.
Can Pinwin tell if it's like a full-grown gold dragon?
Oh, yes. So, yes, Pinwin, you can tell that it is very old. This is usually dragons don't get that big if they're not old. So you immediately realize that this is a very, very old dragon, maybe even ancient.
Oh my god. Okay, so gold dragons aren't super common, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna walk forward.
No dragons are
towards
really
it.
common.
Right. I'm gonna
in
walk
this world.
forward towards it, like completely just enamored by it, like gawking at it.
Also, I'm kind of in awe too, because this is my favorite dragon
So
type.
yeah.
I've seen them in books. This is the first one I've ever seen. I don't think we've ever seen any metallic dragons at all, like in person.
Yeah. So
So-
I am walking forward into its space. Just like
I immediately go invisible.
Okay. Willem disappears.
someone's gotta
Gorbel,
be
what
logical.
are you doing?
I'm a little floored.
Okay.
I haven't had much dragon experience.
All right, so you just kind of stay there. Mm-hmm. All right, Pinwin and Tomar, as you guys are both approaching, correct?
I wasn't approaching, but I'm
Okay.
I'm not like hiding. I'm just looking at it, kind of like surprised.
Okay, so Pinwin, I want you to give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, 20 right out the gate. So that'd be 37.
37. Okay. So, Pinwin, you know dragons, and you know that dragons, especially ones of this age, would be highly intelligent and would likely immediately try to communicate with you upon being aware of your presence. This one seems, while it is awake, its eyes kind of move lazily around the room and almost as if it's not seeing anything. And it seems very calm. It breathes very slow. You don't sense any like dangerous aura or anything coming off of it. And you do know that golden dragons typically are closer to the benevolent side of the alignment spectrum. And so they're less likely to be ones to attack, but it's strange that it's not doing anything. And you kind of, if you were to kind of skirt around, you would see that this magical dome seems to have something to do with the placidity of the dragon itself.
I'm gonna walk up to the dragon and just, like, touch it.
So as you reach forward, you hear a voice from up above you, Pinwin, that says, "Don't touch the dome."
Can we all hear that?
Yes, you can all hear it. "If you touch the dome, you will die."
Oh,
Shit.
okay. Thank you. Who are you?
And then from one of the platforms, you guys see a small shape emerge over the side and kind of peek out. You see a creature you've never seen before. It's very small, roughly about maybe 2 foot tall. It's hard to tell from the distance. It is about 60 feet above you and about 40 feet back on one of the platforms. Wrapped in a heavy cowl, and has like bluish skin and kind of like long ears that kind of flop down, and large eyes that have like multiple colors in their irises. And one of the things you can see just barely is from the distance is that the creature's hands and feet are bare, but they look to be almost root-like in their component.
Ooh, that's fun.
And the creature looks out and says, "It is a powerful spell. If you touch it, you will die. As I said, do not try."
They said touch the dome. What is... Okay, so where's the dome?
And why is
It's
the dome?
It's covering the dragon. It's like completely encasing this dragon.
Okay.
And like it's like a translucent, like magical dome.
So it's not all across the room? We're not in the dome?
No.
Okay.
It pretty much like a little glass menagerie for the dragon.
Okay. Why do you have this dragon in a dome? Isn't it friendly?
I do not have the dragon in the dome. Those below have put the dragon in the dome. I am here because I am the dragon's student.
You're learning to be a dragon?
If only it were that easy. No. Let me come down and I can speak to you all.
Okay.
You are the wolves, correct?
Yep.
How do you know that?
I will explain. And the creature walks away from the platform and then almost like just seconds later comes out of a door down at the bottom, like on the same level as you guys, and starts walking very slowly towards you.
So
and you can see
it's walking on these little roots.
kinda, yeah, it's like they're like flesh
so
and roots.
Cute.
And yeah, so it starts walking. It's got this big like heavy robe-ish cowl with a big hood. And there's just a little bit of hair on their head, and it's like a kind of a peachish color, but like I said, big colorful eyes, and it's a very cute looking creature.
This sounds so cute. I want one.
You said
And it just kinda-
are they kind of androgynous looking? Like you can't really tell?
What? Yeah, you can't tell from looking at it right here what it could be. You've never seen something like this before. It could be a child, it could be an adult. You have no idea. And so it walks forward and kind of looks up at all of you as it gets closer and closer, and stops about 20 feet away from you, Pinwin. And Pinwin, probably not often in your life have you met things that are other than like small children that are shorter than you.
Oh, I'm gonna run up and hug it.
You're gonna, as you go to run up and hug it, the creature kind of like takes a few steps back. Please, do not hug.
I'm sorry. It's just I don't usually see many people smaller than me.
So you hug them?
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries, dude.
I get. I'm sorry.
He does not pick up on social
It was
cues very well.
exciting. I was excited.
All right, spit it out. I will not hesitate to set you aflame.
Hey.
What the heck?
This
We're
is
not setting it aflame.
This is a majestic creature here. It's like a flying god, basically, and it's trapped in here.
Yeah, but we can get a little more info before we start making threats.
And it sounds
Since
like
when do we
he
just
didn't-
trust any random person or creature
We're
we
not
meet?
trusting them. We're talking.
And
it's a conversation. Excuse me.
Right. And it sounds like they didn't trap him. It sounds like the people below did. Who are the people below?
I'm gonna look at him suspiciously.
What's your what's your name?
My name is Ura, and I am the rune keeper here.
The
Did you
what?
say Rune Keeper?
The rune keeper.
Rune
You are all part of the Enclave Rune, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, it is now.
Who's saying that?
Was it Dorothy? That Gabby batch?
But I welcome you to the chamber here. If you would please close the door so that no one else
You're letting
can
all the
stumble
AC
in
out.
here.
I was gonna say, close the door, you'll let the dragon out. Idiots.
Can I insight check that specifically?
The door?
Him
the
requesting
closing of the door?
to close the door because it could
Oh.
enact a spell of some
I
kind.
suppose.
We don't know it's a him.
Right? That's true.
18.
I'm just imagining, like, Dobie crossed with Bellsprout.
Did I say him? I thought I meant it.
Yeah, you said
All
it.
right, 18.
18. It's difficult to discern, but it just was such a casual statement. You don't sense any malice from it at all. They seemed like they were being pretty genuine.
I will close the door.
And then the minute you close the door, several torches start lighting in the chamber and kind of brighten everything up, and you guys can see kind of the features a little bit more. The stone is definitely considerably old, and towards the back, there's a large kind of archway, different from the other kind of passageways that you saw. This one is like an archway that leads into a roomed alcove that you can kind of see inside. You can see that there's a bunch of chests and bookcases and stuff in there. And Ura, like, kind of walks forward. You have come a long way. Yes?
Maybe, yeah.
I guess in the grand scheme, yeah.
Where have you come from?
I come from a village, just hidden village in. Do you know where Staristrum and Zugo are?
Yeah.
Relatively.
Yeah.
Right along the border, there is a small village there full of my people.
Oh my god.
And what are you?
There's more.
I am Farmini.
Farmini.
Tomar.
I mean, it's not human, that's for sure. It's not a dwarf. I've never seen anything like it, have you?
You are right to be suspicious. I am sure your journey has been plagued with perils and folk who would otherwise do you harm, or their enigmatic actions are shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, I'm sick of that. Are you gonna...
How do you? Yeah. How do you know all this? And
Are you...
You never answered. Who are the people under us?
Oh,
Are you part
those-
of them?
I am not part of them.
Oh.
They are who keep Yarfrey chambered.
Are your people fae creatures?
We are something of a mix of fae and material. We have a very strong tie to magic in this world.
How did you end up here?
I came here with Yarfrey to study the runes. He is the rune master,
Oh.
and I am his
Awesome.
pupil.
Awesome.
He's the rune master.
And when we arrived, we did battle with the people below, and they trapped him. And so it has been for, what year is it?
380?
For 700 years.
Whoa.
Oh.
I would never have guessed you are that old.
Thank you.
I work out.
How old are you?
That would make me, I suppose, about 1,040 years old.
Wow.
I'm just imagining Paul Rudd from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I guess.
Who knew?
Oh, fuck.
Wonder if the carpet matches our pubes. Oh, man.
Wow. So you must know a lot.
I know some. Some might say that I know a lot. But
Those
I
some
know
are
enough
me.
to... I talk to myself a lot. But I know enough to know how much I do not know. My knowledge pales in comparison to Yarfrey.
Can you talk to him? Because that normally can't golden dragons talk to you, and then the barrier just stopped. Like he wasn't talking to me.
Yarfrey is unable to speak. I have just been essentially a keeper here for so long, with no one to speak to, save my own memories and the books that I read, and of course, delving into the runes themselves.
So they just let you stay here?
They do not necessarily find me as a threat. I have no ability to get to them,
Why?
How?
because they are behind the dragon door.
Oh, there was just a shelf covering it.
No, that is the door you arrived from, the dragon door. And Ura kind of waves their hand down one of the passageways. That is their access point. That is the dragon door. Only those of a draconic lineage can access that door.
Oh.
Where does it lead?
It leads below. I do not know what the place is called below, but it is a place where those below dwell.
If we freed... I'm sorry, what was their name again?
Yarfrey?
Yarfrey.
If we freed Yarfrey, would they be able to open the door?
Well, you would not be able to free Yarfrey without getting below.
We can't just dispel this that's covering Yarfrey?
It would be unlikely. There are many powerful magicians that have cast this sealing spell. It would take quite an army of magic users to stop it.
Do you know any of those magicians' names?
I do not. They do not even seem as though they are with names. They are cowled in black, and they are of some purpose that I do not understand. But they have kept Yarfrey here, Master Yarfrey, for so long that I have almost forgotten what they look like and how they are approached.
Wow.
So, how do you know who we are?
The runes. I can see the runes as they approach, much like it, I imagine you can see runes when they approach you for your journey.
I'll look to Ura and ask it, how do we get to these magicians to stop them?
Well, if you have the draconic lineage, you can enter through the door, but...
So the
very
only way
few-
to free the dragon is to go through that door.
It would appear so. I have tried many things over the years, and nothing seems to have worked. And it is indicated by the dragon symbol on the door that I have only seen in one other place, which is the royal family of Staristrom.
Oh.
I mean, I have
Lance?
someone in my bag.
Lance. Where's Lance at?
Oh, you're right.
Can we reach out to Lance, send to Lance and...
Yeah.
You will not be able to send messages within this chamber. However, if you would like to exit, you may do so.
Are you going to be waiting for us when we come back?
Yes, I have nowhere to go.
I mean, he's
I
been
must
here for over 700 years. Where's he
tend to
going?
My master.
I don't know. We've been having some weird problems with doors lately. That's all I'm saying.
I don't want to close the door and have this gone.
We'll put a pin in this, Ura. We'll be right back.
Really
wonder-
quick though, with the draconic bloodline, is that just to open the door or to even go in?
As far as I know, they are one and the same.
So, if our friend had draconic bloodline, would we be able to go with, do you think?
I am not sure, but I know that the door cannot be opened without the draconic bloodline.
Okay.
I do not know beyond that. I suppose you would be able to, considering I cannot open the door, and I was able to go below. I had forgotten. Sorry, it has been years.
You've been
That's a pretty
below?
big piece of information to forget.
Well, I remembered now. I apologize. I was below when they attacked us. Yes.
Was the door already open when you went down there?
No.
So
Why were you down
opened it.
there?
No. Yarfrey opened the
Oh,
door.
yes. That
The
makes
dragon
sense.
right there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that checks out. All right. Well, we
Yahtzee.
shall return.
Yeah. Okay. So, what exactly am I asking Lance?
Hold on. Let's go into the room and discuss this.
What's there to discuss? We gotta call Lance.
I wave at Ura as we walk out. Willem, are you coming with? You're still invisible, so.
Yeah, I'm still invisible, and I've been purposely staying silent
Yeah.
just in case.
So as I get into Delane's chamber, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that was a gold dragon.
And then,
I can't believe how cool that was.
and I will be too. We'll be like jumping up and down together.
Oh my god. And he's the rune master.
Was I geeking out or was I okay?
No, you were cool.
I'm surprised you
Yeah.
didn't touch the.
I mean, the hug
thing
was-
still, even after he said it'd kill you.
I mean, I didn't want to die.
The hug
Yeah.
was weird, though.
yeah, you can't just run up and hug on people, Pinwin. You gotta stop
He's
that
so cute
behavior.
though. Well, not he. It's so cute though. Like you didn't just want to hug it?
I mean, just because you're a cute creature doesn't mean you want to be hugged and
I
picked up by
would love
everybody.
to be hugged by whoever if I was a cute little creature to them.
Just assume that everyone doesn't, and then ask them first.
I guess that is kind of like the right thing to do.
And I'm glad you didn't keep trying once he said no.
Oh, I'm not gonna keep trying. He made it clear like it was not his thing. Not a hugger.
All right, so
His little arms.
the thing I'm worried about and I'm questioning is the wizards aren't stopping Ura, but they're also not helping the dragon, and they're not trying to stop whatever's going on. They clearly know that this door is here. And I'm worried, like, if we cast spells in the Tower of Wisdom, do they have sensors? Like, can they tell we're casting stuff in here? Are they monitoring us?
I would assume yes.
But
I
where
would
is
operate
this-
under the assumption that yes, they're aware.
But are we still in Tower of Wisdom, or was this like a portal to somewhere else?
We're in the Tower of Wisdom right now.
Well, we went in through that secret bookcase door. Are we positive that when we went in that behind the bookshelf, though, it didn't turn into some other portal?
It doesn't matter because we're in the tower now and we'd be sending from here.
So we went out of the bookshelf is where we went?
Yeah. That was the only other door, right?
I thought there was
They
the
said we-
hallway.
You turned it, and then the room shifted, and then when you left the normal room door, you were in a different hallway.
Right, so I thought we were in the hallway. That's my confusion.
It was implying that we couldn't cast sending in there.
I
which
thought it was in
means
that specific room.
In that
I would
chamber,
assume that
yeah.
everything beyond that chamber is the Tower of Wisdom.
I mean, we can... Oh, I guess we can try and see what happens.
That's what I'm worried about. Do we try in here or do we go out of the building and then come back? That's why I brought it up.
I think we should
Do
just
we
try
think
from here.
that there's somebody in the Tower of Wisdom that doesn't want us to help the dragon? Or possibly is there somebody in the Tower of Wisdom that specifically wants us to summon Lance here for some nefarious
Exactly.
means?
Lance has a lot of capability power-wise and stuff we don't even know about. He's from a different nation altogether, and he's likely very important to something.
I mean, to be fair, if someone wanted that information, they could easily scry on us.
He's not
Like
with us,
they-
so they
I
can't
know,
scry
but-
on us.
just when they saw us come in a Tower of Wisdom, maybe someone's following us that way.
Yeah, all the more reason to not send.
Yeah, exactly.
To Lance.
I don't understand.
You just
why
made a
you're being
case
so casual about
against
this.
it.
I'm not.
The
I'm
Tower of
agreeing
Wisdom
with you.
has so many suspect people that have been through here. We have Mandoran, we have Aro, we have the Ocean Binders in general who sent me to the ethereal plane. We can't operate on the notion that they're totally trustworthy.
But then do we do nothing?
No, we leave the building, then we send to Lance. And then come back.
Okay.
What if there's a perimeter scry?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
okay.
just worried that
Here's a
I'm worried
suggestion.
that someone has had eyes on us this entire time.
We
Right,
go
that's
back
what
to
I'm kinda thinking,
Moonreach,
too.
But
and then we
we're
send to
in
Lance.
their house. You understand that. Tons
get
of
it.
wizards are in here. My suggestion, okay, if we want to ensure that they're not directly monitoring us, I can go back to Wolves Rest. And you guys can stay here, and then I can send for Lance.
What? That's I don't know. I feel like time is kind of the essence, and we need to stick together and just do this now.
I can say
Even if
one
it's
word
kind of risky.
and literally teleport to Wolves Rest.
But we want you here.
My feeling is just that every time we decide to step outside of a situation for a
Then
purpose,
something else
we get
happens.
completely derailed and
I want
sidetracked.
to free this dragon. That's
I don't know.
This is gonna open up no less than 10, no more than 20 more side quests. and we're gonna forget about at least 6 different stones and 3 different scrolls that we compile along the way. Our inventory is a mess.
We absolutely need to free the dragon.
yeah. So let's
I'm on board for that.
Yeah, let's just try it. Or do you want me to just do sending in the hall?
I absolutely do not want you to do sending in the hall. That is why I said that, and that I feel even stronger about that now. After having this conversation, and no one else but Willem seems to care.
I'm just gonna do sending in the hall.
No,
I'm
you're not.
agreeing with
Do not
you.
let
kidding.
Willem stop him.
But I feel like if we leave the building, we're gonna have someone out there like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then that's a whole other thing.
I mean,
gonna
most
say-
likely.
I'm going to say Beld, and then I'm going to disappear.
Then do it.
No, I'm
was
just
saying
saying
that,
that's what I literally just did.
So Tomar disappears.
As I'm saying, then do it. Good.
So we'll get to you in a moment, Tomar. What are the rest of you guys gonna do since he just disappeared?
Is there any other doors in the hallway?
Nope. It's a straight shot. Delaine's room, this chamber, hallway connecting.
Okay, so are the rest of us still in the chamber? Did we technically leave?
You guys all went
to
back
talk about
into
it.
the Ocean Binder study.
Okay. Do we want to go back in and read some of the things that what's Tree guy's name again?
Ura?
What?
Ura?
Aura? Do we want to read some of the things that Aura's been reading? I want to read. Oh, I'm going to go back in and read some of those things while we wait.
I would like to ask him some questions. If he's there with the Rune Master, I
And
think
he
that could
knows
be
so
particularly helpful because we're still missing. Well, now we're missing all of our runes.
Right. And we're just really in the dark. We need some information. So let's go get information. Let's do it.
I'll accompany you two, but do not, don't indicate that I'm there.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay invisible.
That's right. You're so sneaky, Willem. Okay, let's go.
So you three, 2 of you visibly, re-enter the chamber. Where,
Singing just the 2 of us.
And we're doing
You
dances
and I.
where Ura is kind of still standing there waiting. And as you re-enter the room, you see a pleasant smile cross their face. And Ura looks at you two. Welcome back.
Thanks. So we're kind of in a waiting space right now, but we are in an extreme lack of information at the moment, and we'd love to just kind of pick your brain and, I don't know, learn some things to help us not be so in the dark.
Ura nods.
Yes, it's been so long since I've had someone to talk to, since the last enclave. So please, ask me whatever it is that you wish.
The last enclave.
Yes.
There are...
Oh.
Wait, I guess I don't know much about runes, obviously. So, who was the last enclave?
I don't remember their names specifically, but they were a group of adventurers that would have been, I think, probably 500 years ago, maybe.
Were they nice?
They were, they weren't evil, but they weren't exactly nice. They were very rough. They demanded answers. They did not stay long. They just wanted to know information about where they could find other runes.
Were they
the bloody brawlers?
Perhaps they were.
Oh. Okay. Was there a turtle guy?
I do not remember a turtle guy.
Oh my god, Pinwin, they're called turtles.
Oh.
What can
I'm
I
sorry,
help
turtles.
What would you like to know? In this specific knowledge, I am quite trained.
Can you just tell us information that you think is most important about runes?
All of the information is important.
I
I would
know.
need you to help me zero in on what you would like to know.
So, you probably are aware we have runes that we're trying to locate ourselves.
That is the nature of the Enclave rune.
But it's becoming increasingly difficult to find them, and it feels like a lot of dead ends. But it also feels like we're in a rush, so it's a stressful situation.
I understand. Follow me.
And Ura turns and starts slowly walking away and goes to a different door than they had emerged from and goes to one on the left, like a kind of a faded blue door, and opens it up and slips inside. You guys want to follow?
Yeah.
So, side question as we're walking. Who feeds you while you're down here? Do you go out and get your own groceries in the city, do you?
I eat, but I do not have the ability to... Well, I suppose I could leave if I wanted to, but then
Don't want to leave your dragon.
my master would die.
Yeah.
I must stay in this chamber.
He would die?
Oh.
Yes, the only way he can remain alive is to feed off of the energy that I provide for him so that he does not fade away.
Well, who's filling up your tank?
I have a variety of different plants that I have been consuming.
Oh, what's your favorite?
Uh,
Someone just asked me that recently.
I like this plant that it's kind of fun. It shoots out little fruits, and it is quite tasty.
If fruit?
I suppose so. Yes.
Oh, I love. That's my favorite.
You and I are the same.
I know.
Don't hug.
No hug still. Okay.
So you guys enter this chamber, and it's a circular chamber, completely empty except for a floating grayish rock in the center that kind of moves up and down and is slowly turning. And Ura looks at you two and steps forward and holds up their finger and looks over their shoulder at you and says,
I will show you the location of your runes if you would like.
Wow. And then magic kind of springs forward from their fingertip, and you watch as this rock starts changing and then flattens out, and then slowly as if someone is instantly carving into it with a chisel. You see the country of Valtel start to appear, and then mountains and stuff like that, and you're looking at a map of Valtel. Tomar, you arrive at the temple in Wolf's Rest.
I breathe in home a little bit, like... I quickly take a dump, because I've been holding it in for days, and I peek out the door, and the entrance to the temple, and then I look around and I see if anything's weird or different or changed at all.
There is a little bit of a difference. There seems to be less people than normal in the main vicinity, but you can see that there are a lot of people on the ramparts on the walls looking outside of the city, and they all seem to be looking at something specific.
Do they look concerned?
There's some people who look concerned, some people look impressed, some people look frightened.
Okay, well, shit.
Go look at
I'm definitely gonna sigh in frustration, and I'm gonna fly up and try and see someone I'm familiar with.
Oh, okay. You can see that
somebody important.
Kurdu River Trapper is up, and he's speaking with some of the guards, and he's looking out, and he sees you approach.
Oh, Tomar, welcome back. Where are the others?
Don't worry about that now. What's going on?
Oh, well, I see you're probably confused.
Yes. Look out there, and he points over the walls. And if you'll recall, back when this arc started, the group of people outside of the city had grown considerably, people wanting to, become part of the cause. Now, that number has at least doubled, if not tripled. The entire valley, the stretch from Wolf's Rest all the way as far as you can see at this point, is filled with tents and people and little temporary housing and just this huge amount of people that are gathered there. You can see flags from different different banners and stuff like that, and there's paths that have been kind of moved through enough that they've become their own little roads as well. And this, in the time that you guys have been gone, which hasn't been that long, more people have arrived. A lot more people.
Oh my god.
I turn back to Kurdu. Have you parlayed with them at all?
No, we were waiting for all of you the last time when we presented it. Of course, you weren't keen on allowing anyone in or really interacting much with them, but as you can see, the force has grown considerably. Would you like me to parlay?
Send out a messenger. Request that the leaders of their groups come together and then bring them to a secure location in town. And we will discuss with them when we come back. But don't treat them with hostility. Make them feel comfortable, but let them know that we're being cautious and we want to make sure nothing is shady going on. You can even take them to the temple if you want, because there's some protections there that I've placed. But have guards posted. Don't bind them up or anything. Just find out who the leaders are, and we will be back shortly to deal with that.
Do you have a preference of who you would like me to send out to gather them?
Make Nugget do it.
Really?
Okay. I just
Back to Nugget.
If something bad happens, then it'll only happen to Nugget. So
But don't you want someone that's really
you're not
friendly?
here, Pinwin.
Oh no.
But I have other business to attend to. We're all okay.
That is good to hear.
We're working very diligently trying to get this situated. Any other news in town that I need to know about?
No, as of late, we've just been waiting for your return and trying to figure out... Oh, actually, there is one thing. Not far from here, over, I believe, in Earth Valley, a
You mean Heart Valley?
Heart Valley. Damn it, every single time. I'm going to rename that fucking place.
You already did.
Over in Heart Valley, it appears that there's another group that have come in. They don't seem to have ill intent, but as you'd cleared out the village of really anything, it looks like a group have started to move in, and they seem peaceable. They sent a salutation by way of what appears to be some sort of monetary amount. We haven't counted it, but they did send a bag full of coin. It's almost as if they believe that this is their land-owning taxation spot.
Oh, well, they can screw off. Put that money somewhere separately, not with our other money. There's weird dark juju going on in Heart Valley, and I don't really want to taint what we have. Keep it under lock and key for the time being, and we will deal with Heart Valley when we get to it.
All right. Absolutely. Is there anything else you need from me?
Try and find out where Rory is. He helped me work on some things, and I haven't seen him in months, so I don't know where he went.
I will ask around in Gnome Town.
Okay. Be careful there, too, because they can be a wily bunch.
Oh, I have spent a few nights of my own gambling and drinking with them. I think that I'll be fine.
Also, for our other allies that are out of Wolves Rest, send birds to them, telling them we're planning on having a big feast, and to, if they can, make arrangements to travel here as soon as they can.
It's a traitor hunt.
I can do that as well. I will. Yes, I know the caravan lines well enough that I think that I could make sure they get there quickly, the fastest route by bird.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely, Tomas. Be careful.
Will do. And I fly back down to the temple.
I feel like it's Dumbledore's army.
All right, we're going to switch back to the others in the Tower of Wisdom there and in that chamber. So the map forms, and Ura looks back at you two. Which runes would you like to locate?
Oh, can we see all of them?
Wait, do we see like 4 locations?
There's nothing on the map other than the terrain features and stuff.
There was also a list of runes that it could have been, remember? Like, we had to roll for it to get the 4 ones that we got.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know if it was going to be like, I imagined it like 4 locations popped up on that map.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, okay, so we kind of, in long story short, time travel, we lost a rune? Do you know? Can you show us? Is he alive? Where would he be if he's alive?
You will have to specify which rune it is.
It's
The
our
shadow
shade rune.
The shade rune?
Yeah.
And then Ura lifts up their hand, and their hand starts glowing like this blue energy, and you watch as the map sort of starts to absorb this blue energy.
Show me the shade rune.
And the map like kind of expands a little bit, and the blue light lights up in the area that appears to be Deepminster.
Huh.
It appears that the shade rune is in the city of Deepminster, where we are currently.
That's convenient.
It cannot zoom in any more than that.
Oh.
I apologize, but it appears to be somewhere nearby.
That's extremely helpful.
That is, thank you.
Before moving on, I know you mentioned that you were a little offended by the last enclave coming through and demanding to see these locations. So is there something we can do for you? How can we help you a little bit more? Buttering him up.
Bad idea.
Well,
Bad
I
idea.
don't know that I require anything, but you seemed interested in the door. If you could find some way of helping my master, I would appreciate that. That's all that I ask. I do not require any gifts or rewards for helping you. It is my role in part of rune lore to provide as much information as possible to the Enclave Rune.
Well, and it's on us to help you. I think that's only fair.
Well, whatever the Enclave decides is fine. But I am just happy to have the conversation.
Me too.
Well, this is extremely helpful. Now, that is a rune we actually know what the rune is, so it's good to know where it went.
Mm-hmm.
But the others we haven't found out what they are.
Well, if you tell me the runes, I can search. And if they are on this plane, I will be able to show them to you.
Okay.
Okay. So one of them is... Should we tell him this? Is this too much information? I don't know.
How are we going to get information if we don't say
That's
it?
true. Sometimes you just have to roll those dice.
I
And then
know.
one second. Willem, are you doing anything other than just kind of like hanging out and watching, or?
No, so I was like, if I was just kind of waiting to see if anybody needed a reminder on what the runes were.
Oh, no, I have them.
Okay,
I do too.
And so if not, I'm good. I'm still just hanging back, but I was ready to be like, the Battle Mines rune, the Homeward rune.
So go ahead.
So one that we have been trying to find is the namesake rune.
The namesake rune.
And then the hand goes up again, lights up blue,
This Enclave's namesake rune.
and the map expands, and it lights up near Ravenmoor in the forest surrounding Ravenmoor.
It appears to be somewhere near there.
Who do we know that's there, Gorbel?
I don't know. In the forest?
It appears to be the forest.
Interesting.
Now, can you give us a little bit more insight on how these work? Does it have to be a creature or a person or a being, or can these be an item or an inanimate object?
That is an interesting question. It is almost always some sort of sentient creature of some kind, though what defines sentience may differ. It doesn't have to necessarily be organic, but it could be a magically produced creature, perhaps. I have seen such a thing.
Wow.
But
that is
typically, it is a living creature. Typically, not always. In this case, I cannot tell from that. But if I were to interact with a rune in person, I could.
What? What
You and your
happened?
gasps.
What happened?
I have a hunch.
What's your hunch? Is this an in-person hunch? Or
This
in
is-
character? I mean.
No,
Oh, okay. What's your hunch?
I'll save it. Or I'll do it now, since I'm already on this roll. What if the namesake rune is our namesake, and it's the iridescent or luminescent wolf
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
in the expanse?
Gorbel! And we're jumping up and down again. That's our episode.
I share this look with Pinwin that's like,
And I return the look.
You look ecstatic.
we might be. It's a hunch.
It's a fun hunch, though.
Well, oftentimes, hunches can lead us to the correct instance, especially when it comes with runes.
Hunches can lead you to bunches of information.
Hunches and bunches.
Yes.
But I do have bunches of hunches.
That's
All
true.
right. Well, that was incredibly helpful.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad.
We
I am
are
very
also
glad.
looking for the Battle Mines rune.
Hand goes up.
Battle Mines rune. And
Show
guys-
me Battle Mines rune.
You guys see that the map lights up at Wolves Rest.
Is that Fenric? Fennec?
Phoenix and Ravenmoor. I mean Moonreach. Sorry.
Yeah. Who's in Wolves? Is it Durant? We haven't even seen Durant, have we? That'd be so dumb. I've been like, let's go see Durant, and then he just doesn't show up, and then he's just a rune.
That would be
Kurdu?
especially crazy because he's been terrible at combat this entire time.
Maybe he's been
Tactician.
training
Kurdu?
this whole time with his snakes.
Tacticians,
Could it be
he might not
Maybe.
be super good at combat.
Kurdu? Is it Kurdu? Kurdu? Could it be Kurdu?
He would have lit up to him, you'd think, if it was Kurdu.
We just don't know.
I know. We
Well,
don't.
I mean, you guys have met Mirrorluck before, and he didn't light up then.
That was pre-knowing about the runes, though. I don't know.
Okay, well,
Is that a rule?
no hunches are coming up for this one, but this is a good start.
This is a good start.
Okay, and then we have one more that we're looking for. Is 4 the normal number?
It depends.
On what?
The size of the group.
Does each person have a... I don't understand.
It's not a exact science. Occasionally, it will just be one, or many, or as you were seeing now, 4. But when I say size of the group, I don't mean your group. I mean the group that is in opposition to what your cause is. These are fated runes, so the larger the threat that is faced, the more help it is deemed required.
Wow.
You are a wealth of knowledge.
You are. Where did
Just
root?
in this knowledge, I am wealthy. However, there are many things I do not know.
Can't
but
cook a
I have
burrito
spent-
to save my life.
I will do it
It was
for
real
you.
bad.
I owe you every burrito. Like, you got a place to stay if you come over to my house.
Who makes the runes? Where did
That
they
is-
come from?
They have been here since the beginning. It is believed that they were here before anything else,
Wow.
before even the gods. There is no name to their creator, but even the gods, when they walked along the material plane, they knew of the existence of the runes.
Wow. Gorbel, does that make you feel like really like, wow. Like,
Yeah.
That's so wow.
All right, now our last one, number 4, is the Homeward Rune.
The homeward rune. And hand goes up, light flashes, and you guys see an area to the northwest of Deepminster, kind of getting close to the Blood Forest, but kind of in a plain area. None of you are familiar with this area. You know that there's like a bunch of small villages and stuff.
hair. It's sheep hair, guys.
Is it?
I swear.
Is it right by there? I thought he said we're unfamiliar with it.
I'm not there.
I know.
We've never been.
Oh.
So yeah, this area is unfamiliar to you guys. Like, Pinwin, you briefly stopped in Applewood on your way back from visiting your dying father, but it's still like a little bit further west than Applewood, and you don't remember any other villages that you passed through there.
Do we know where Zyko is? Out of character. Or just Tomar?
You guys, Tomar had mentioned that he had left and met his village, but you don't know where his village is.
Okay.
So.
Because it's tiny, right?
Right.
You wouldn't even know the location because he didn't share that, and
Okay.
really, it was kind of like not prevalent information.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't recognize this.
I don't either. Who would that be?
Could a rune be something that we've never encountered before?
It could be.
Huh.
But in the case of the Homeward Rune, it is unlikely, as it is a linchpin rune. It is typified by something close to the Enclave, that a trustworthy source.
Wow.
Now, how we rolled for these runes.
That is usually the way of it.
So, how are those those aren't determined by chance, are they?
They are. There are many runes.
So, well,
Those are the ones you must understand that even chance is an arm of fate.
Ooh. That was deep.
That was deep.
It is just the understanding that I have.
You've got big understanding for such a low.
Got big understanding energy.
I love this guy.
Yeah, he's so
This is like
awesome.
the most forthright person we have met.
And
Ugh.
it's mega cute. Like,
I get the hugging thing. I want
right?
to do it too.
See, it's okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. What other questions do we have? There's so many. Yes.
We must conserve the energy of the stone, so if we discuss further, we should leave this room.
Okay. Thank you, Stone.
And it turns back into a stone.
Thank you.
Like a big
Ura.
rock plinth.
Ura?
Thank you so much.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Your friend is gone. One of the members of your enclave, I assume to seek out something. I will not ask. It does not concern me. But are you planning to wait here for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we're going to switch back to Tomar.
So knowing how Lance is, kind of arrogant, probably prone to flattery, I'm going to kneel down on the floor of the temple. I'm going to place the hammer down. I'm going to cast Sending. And I'm going to say, Lance, it's Tomar. We greatly need your aid. There's a door that requires your brilliant expertise. If you're not busy, meet me in Wolf's Rest. And that's exactly 25 words, so...
You're just gonna wait and
with an influential message like that, I will allow you to roll persuasion if you would like.
Ooh, that's not good.
Give him the stick. Don't give him the stick.
Wait, did you get some kind of bonus to persuasion?
Oh, I
while
did.
back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it would have been.
It's a +4 instead of a +3.
That's not terrible.
I slap myself with guidance.
Nice.
25.
All right.
25. All right. And you wait for a moment.
Well, describe
then-
how the cool flames come out of the hammer and spread out.
All right. So the flames, they like basically jettison out of the hammer a big, huge, like bonfire-sized flame, and then slams into the ground. And you watch as like almost bolts of electricity just flow out of the temple and far away. And then a moment later, you hear a toneless message that says, I will be there as soon as I can. Glad to see you finally trust that I am the greatest.
Well, I guess while I wait for him to come back to Wolf's Rest, I'm gonna wander around and check on some things.
Okay.
Find that rune.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know
Out
about
of
it.
character.
Wander in a good direction.
All right, so you wander around.
I'll head
what do
to
you-
the manor.
Okay.
He's gonna cottywomple.
So you head to the manor.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do there?
I'll check on Let first. See what
Okay.
he's doing.
All right. Well, you find Let in his usual spot, a little bit frustrated, especially now that his brother is down there with him, and the two of them are working on alchemical solutions. Alchemical, I think, would be the right term. Alchemical solutions, and like they've got their lab has expanded, not in size, just in the amount of things they have in there. They've got an entire neatly placed row of like potions and tinctures sorted by size and color. So on the first row, you can see like a vibrant, like rainbow color spectrum that goes from smallest to largest, and filled with the containing amounts. And then there's another row of like based on color and size, and then it's just like goes through a hue. And then if you look all the way through it, it's like this big rainbow spectrum. And then you've got you see over on the left hand side, there's like all the tables that were in there that were kind of just like haphazard have been like neatly pushed up against the walls, and different instruments and like bowls and vials and like a lot of things that look like they belong in like a gnome's shop are kind of like neatly put in their place all over. It seems like Louis' influence has made this place a much more navigatable like lab, but they are arguing as you walk down the stairs.
Louis, why do you always do this to me? Just let me try this. But you are not good at it. Why would I let you try? Let me try.
And you watch as Let starts slowly pouring a little tiny vial into a cup, and it explodes, and he's got all of a sudden his dwarven features have been marred by his hair is now standing straight up, and it's purple, and he's got like a big like gross welt kind of like undulating on his forehead, and Louis just starts laughing.
You stupid Let.
Careful, you're gonna ruin that beard.
And Let like turns around.
Oh, Tomas, thank you for seeing me at my worst. What can I help you with? Are you here to chop my brother's head off because he is an asshole?
Maybe. How has he been an asshole?
Well, he's always looking over my shoulder, trying to tell me how to do this, as if I haven't been doing this for the past couple of years for you all. I am in charge of this lab. I am his manager. He does not seem to understand that. You're not my manager, Let. You are little man. I am big man. You cannot tell me what to do. I am in charge.
I don't care who's in charge. I didn't set up this lab, but I mean, this is Gorbel's thing. So whoever she says is in charge. Listen to her. It looks like you've...
That is me, Louis. Why don't you go upstairs and boil water and then pour it over yourself, you stupid, stupid man. At least I am a man and not a dwarf.
Both you can shut up. It seems like you've expanded in here, and that's admirable. Congratulations. Hopefully everything...
That was me. It was not the little one. He is too stupid to be organized.
How did you guys function at all as a business back in Rothia if you're always at each other's throats?
Well, he mostly did the actual creation and I did all the selling. It was we used our two strengths, but since I am not selling, I need to have a hand in it, and I've become a little bit better at it. I would say there are some things that I've actually mastered since beginning to learn.
Well, if there's something else you would like to do, like if you enjoy doing potions, by all means continue doing potions. But if you think you might find value doing something else in town, then by all means, start doing that. Because we can't have you blowing up things. It's too dangerous.
It is part of the process, Tomas. I appreciate your concern for my personal safety.
I'm not concerned about your personal safety. I'm concerned about everyone in the town. So let's not blow up other things while we're at it, shall we? Now, is there anything...
Me at one time where something blows up, and a million times where nothing has blown up, I guess.
100% of the times that I've come down here, something has exploded. That's too many times.
Well, you don't come down very often.
Exactly.
I'm always, yes. Maybe your bad vibes are washing over this place and causing my concentration to break. Have you ever thought about that, Tomas?
Well,
Maybe being trapped in the body of this dwarf has made my fingers slightly less versatile, and now I cannot do as well, especially knowing that another dwarf is coming down the stairs, sneaking up behind me.
Silence!
Dwarven...
I did not come down here to bicker with you. I wanted to check in. I wanted to see how you were doing. You're doing good. Is there anything that special you've been working on that we can use for the enemy or to help us with these potions. I see a bunch of different things that I've never seen before on these shelves, so...
Louis kind of chuckles.
I may have made some things that you could use, but it's going to cost you.
And look, his eyes go wide and he looks over at Louis like, you fucking idiot. But he just smiles very confidently.
We can make arrangements for payment soon.
Then I will make arrangements to provide when I have received payment.
We're not paying for anything we don't know what we're getting. So you're gonna have to tell me what these things are.
Well, I have made several powerful tinctures that could aid you. I've got a tincture of thorn body. It will give you great resistance in combat. I have made a large vat of acidic potion. If you put things in it, they will die or dissolve.
So acid.
That is a good catchy name for it. I was going to call it the stuff that makes let move rather than blood, because he is some sort of weird impish creature now and is obviously a monster.
Well, here's an idea.
But yours is a bit better.
Here's an idea. You're pretty good with words. How about you name these potions so they don't sound like shit like that was?
That is what I've been trying to do, but Louis thinks that he is so much smarter than me because he made them, and he believes that since he made them, he can name them, and my names are much better, more to the point.
Yeah. What would you call that?
A goopy glop.
That's definitely catchier than what he just said. I mean, it's not good, but it's better. But, okay. Yeah, none of this is blowing my skirt up yet. What else do you have?
Well, I have been working on a potion, and he pulls out this tiny little vial, and he uncorks it, and he smells it. Ugh. And he recorks it, and there's this even though he's a few feet away from you, the minute he uncorked it, it was like this awful, awful smell that escaped Tomar, and it almost churned your stomach. And he goes, I will not even charge you for this.
Yeah, that sounds... I mean, that doesn't sound like anything, but that had something going on in there. That smelled interesting. What did you put in that?
Well, I put the gloop that we made. I dissolved several corpses of farm animals in it, and it's removed their remains. I also found a few stink blossoms, and I put those in it. And I also, I took a little bit of Louis' breath and I put it in it. I am just kidding. But no, this is a stink potion. It will, if you smell it, if you get it on you, you will not be able to stop retching and puking for days.
Wow.
So it's like Gorbel's farts.
I actually named it in honor of Gorbel. I call it the Adorable.
Gross. Okay. Well, this could be very useful.
No charge, because that is how I operate. And Louis looks at him.
Yes, you operate very stupidly and you'll never make
I'm already
money
heading out
because you're...
the exit.
And you hear them turn to Rothian to continue arguing. And then you hear a crash and what sounds like punching.
All right, then I'm gonna make a beeline for Hazel's house.
They remind me of Muppets.
And we're gonna switch back to the others real quick. All right, so you guys are back in the chamber, and Ura is kind of leading you along, and then Ura steps forward and looks to be examining Yarfrey, and then you watch as magical energy kind of flows out of Ura and penetrates the dome and wraps around Yarfrey and then disappears.
Sorry, I had to give my master some energy.
Aw.
No need for apologies.
Yeah, that's so sad.
If you are able to get this dome dropped, what would you do with Yarfrey? Where would you guys go? Would you stay here?
No, we would leave. As long as we are here, the Aasimar cannot return. But if he leaves, the Aasimar can return.
Aasimar.
What an assy mar.
It is a race that has been trapped for a long time.
Do I know anything about the Aasimar?
Yeah, all of you guys can roll history.
Okay. You'll be hit. You'll be hit.
Reliable
You'll
talent.
be hit. 19.
21.
18.
Okay, so Willem, you faintly recall reading a book at one point that mentioned this race of essentially what appeared to be humans, but they also had wings. And they existed at one point a long time ago, and then all of a sudden disappeared roughly around the time of Vildalin's conquest. And you also remember, all of you, the most principal amount, or the most principal standout thing about Aasimar is that you remember in the memory mansion that you guys visited, they briefly discussed the Aasimar, but it was kind of like a half thing. So they've been gone for a long time, but you guys don't know a ton about them. You two don't remember anything except the conversation in the mansion. But Willem, you do recall like this little bit of extra information.
Huh.
So, what's their deal? Do we not want them to come back?
I would say that it would be good if they came back.
What makes it good?
They were a race that was taken from this plane and trapped and cannot return.
And I mean, yeah, it's good to liberate people. That is the thing. Continue, sorry.
But the Aasimar they have a connection with the Fae, much like my people do. And in fact, there were times when we would be in communication. They were here in this country, communicating with our people in our territory. And we had a good line of communication, but now their communication end has been silenced, and has been for a long time.
Huh.
But as long as Yarfrey is sealed here, there is no way for the Aasimar to come back.
Okay. Huh. Well, we're gonna make sure that we get Yarfrey out of here, and then we get the Aasimar back.
I mean, we're going to try our best.
We're gonna do it. Right?
Yeah. We're going to do it.
We're gonna do it.
Willem nods invisibly.
You can follow me if you would like. I have something to show you.
And
Okay.
Ura starts walking towards the alcove room that you saw with all the objects in there. And as you guys enter, you can see that there's a bunch of stuff, but there's a large chest against the back wall.
Oh, man.
And Ura turns and says,
This chest carries some magical artifacts. But it cannot be opened if Yarfrey is sealed. So
Oh.
once that happens, you can have whatever is inside.
Wow. Okay.
You are just
Amazing.
full of treasures.
In fact, you can have this entire chamber because I tire of it. It's been too long, and I will not need it anymore once we leave.
What do you?
Where are you going to go?
Yeah. What
Back
do you
to
get?
my village.
What's the first thing you're gonna do? What do you miss the most?
Gonna go to Disney World.
I miss my old village. I miss seeing the waterfalls and the trees and walking through the magically infused forest that surrounds my people's village. I will also miss alcohol. I did enjoy it.
Do we have
Do you-
alcohol?
Yeah.
I
Do
mean,
you want some now?
yeah.
You have alcohol with you?
Yeah.
What kind of alcohol do you have?
Well, it's homemade by my friend,
Well, all of our alcohol is homemade.
and it's strong.
That is better.
So,
All
like,
right.
based on your size, you
fucking
probably should
dies.
like really go easy on it. What if we're responsible for like his relapse?
I would like to try this out.
He immediately goes on a bender.
Didn't we at one point bottle Whimsy or something? Or like,
I don't think so.
I thought we took some kind of good drink with us, but I don't remember.
Gorbel has Let special.
Yeah.
Okay, I pull it out. But seriously, like, be very careful.
Okay, what is it called?
I don't know if we have a name for it. I just call it Let's Special Alcohol. That's his name, my friend, Let.
Let. Okay.
Pops the cork on it and
Oh.
Just try a little.
pops the cork back in. Oh. Where his eyes close.
That is good. I like that a lot.
Aww.
And Ura starts hiccuping.
That is really, really good. It's
Oh.
strong. This Let's special I really enjoy.
Oh, did
Can I have a little more?
Maybe let that one sit for a sec.
Okay. The room
It
is
sneaks
spin-
up. Yeah, it sneaks up on you.
did they? Did you
I will-
share where your village is?
Yes, as I mentioned, it is near where Starstrom and Zugo meet.
That's right.
And it is a hidden village. I'm sorry.
It didn't work.
Just trying something.
Sometimes it works.
Ura holds their breath and then
I have processed the alcohol.
Wow.
It was delicious.
That's
Allow
a
me to
blessing
give
and
you
a
a
curse.
gift for your gift.
and Ura lifts a finger up to you, Gorbel, and a little light kind of floats towards you and kind of goes into your chest.
What is it?
What's that?
I gave you a magical mark.
What is that?
It
Is
will
it like a tattoo?
essentially, yes.
And if you look, you can see on your chest is like this weird symbol that has been kind of like tattooed on there.
What does it do?
For the next year, you will have the magical properties of this tattoo, and then it
Oh.
will fade.
What are the magical properties?
The magical property is you can choose how much you drink and whether or not you can get drunk or not drunk.
Wow. Gorbel.
Whoa. Do you have that same power?
I do.
Wow.
Every member of our village gets a different symbol, a blessing, if you will, put on them, and each of us has a different ability. That is one
His
of
is
mine.
getting crunk.
That is one of mine.
What's
Man.
a hell of a way to cut calories.
I can't. Wow. Wow.
I mean, I don't really understand how that serves you beyond like a party trick, but that's really cool.
That
It
is
will
really-
save the alcohol in the seal, and you can release it whenever you like if you choose not to get drunk.
Mm.
You can also make others drunk.
I can make
Oh.
others drunk?
Correct.
Whoa.
Now we're talking. How do I do that?
You essentially bless them with inebriation.
Wow.
Is it like a transference thing? Like she drinks and passes the drunkenness onto somebody else?
Essentially.
That's fun.
That's rad.
Would it
We
be
can
a
make some
spell?
serious coin.
Right. Would it be a spell
Also-
or just like...
It's essentially a spell, but it's almost like a cantrip.
Okay, cool.
An ability.
Nice.
There's no limit to it or anything.
That's amazing.
Also out of character, can you say where his village is? On what border again?
Out of character?
Yeah.
Yeah, Starry Strum and Zugo. Somewhere, it's implied that it's right there somewhere. Hidden.
Are you sure?
That's what he said.
They don't share a border.
That's what he said.
No, is this village destroyed? Or is it magical? He's kind of fey, so that probably...
Okay, I'm going to ask Ura, how close is your village to Ikrikta?
And Ura doesn't even seem surprised, just looks exactly where you are.
It's nice
That's what
to
I
know
figured.
that you're not afraid of speaking up now.
I knew you were there.
Yeah, I figured as much too, but I'd see how long I could write it out for.
Ikrikta is a little ways away, but not far.
Exactly what part of this border is your village on?
I suspect that you have knowledge of geography, and that is why you are asking this question, because you may notice that there is no shared border between Zugo and Starrystrom. Not on any map.
You assume correctly.
It is an area that is not on the map because only we can access it.
Oh, you're kind of like Dreg. Do you know Dreg?
No.
Oh.
He owes me money.
I think you like Dreg.
You know,
Yeah, ask.
get out of here!
Tell me where it is.
They all know each other. Come on. Okay, so is it like a magical pocket border that they share, or is it in the ocean?
It's hard to describe. It exists, but if you were to look, you would see only ocean. If the maps track it, it looks as though it's only ocean.
Is there an invisible landmass that connects Starrystrom and
Are you asking that
Zugo?
in character?
Yeah.
Invisible is a good word for it.
It's Themyscira. Sorry, does no one know what that is?
No, what are you? You're not there.
Sorry,
also.
It's Wonder
It's
Woman's
what?
island.
Oh, yeah.
cool.
nerd.
We're playing D&D.
Yeah, and you're the biggest nerd.
Hence why it's so funny. King nerd. Well, that's interesting. That's a very interesting
Concept? Idea?
Potato.
Potato?
potato. It's a very interesting potato.
Thank you.
It has many an eye.
Is there anything else that I can answer for you? I am an open book, as they say.
Do you have any family?
I have many brothers and sisters, and uncles and aunts, nephews and nieces.
Wait, brothers and sisters. This is an extremely personal question, but I feel like we might be on this level now. You just tattooed me. Are you? What's your gender?
I currently do not have one.
How does that work?
We choose what we would like to be when we get to a certain age. All of us are born androgynous, and and then we can choose any route that we wish as we age.
That's amazing.
I have chosen to
So
remain without.
cool.
You can choose that?
Yes,
And then are there other options, or are there just two other options besides that?
there are many combinations. It is a very, very fluid concept, I suppose. But if one desires procreation, they can choose that path. But once you choose, you are locked in that to your next advancement.
Your next advancement, what's that?
You have to pay a certain amount of money to become in the higher echelon of the church. I'll explain it in this pamphlet if you give me a moment.
It's more like karate. With a black belt.
You got to get a dick belt.
So when are you making this race on D&D Beyond, Zeb?
I can by
right
next
now.
campaign.
2023, y'all.
But yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So it is a choice made by our people, and if once you get to the next advancement in your stage of development, you can choose to go another path, or you can stay on the same path.
How do you reach your next advancement? How long does that take?
It takes different times for everyone. Much like a person who advances in their own personal development, so must we.
Yeah, but we don't get cool stuff along the way.
That is I think it's a matter of perspective.
Wow. So you never want to procreate?
I have not felt the need, maybe perhaps at my next advancement.
Another really personal question. I'm sorry, tell me if I'm overstepping, but how long do you guys live? I mean, you've been around for a long time.
We typically see lives of between 2,000 and 4,000 years.
Wow. That's a big range.
It is.
Yeah, you got plenty of time for fucking.
I feel like this whole episode, I'm just like Knives from Scott Pilgrim. Wow.
I'm glad that I could give you insight. Perhaps maybe you can visit my village at some point.
That's a possibility?
If
Would you let us in?
If you help me, we will see that as a reward
Absolutely.
for helping me. I will show you my village if you prefer.
Have you ever been to Hot Springs?
We have hot springs at our village.
Even better.
They have
This sounds like at the end we get on the boat and we say goodbye to Samwise and we just sail to Ura's village.
They are fed by the waters of the waterfall from the lake above, and they sit on a heat line beneath the village, and so there are varying temperatures naturally occurring. Well, there is some magic involved, but it is quite pleasant.
Wow. I cannot imagine this interaction going any better.
No, this is awesome.
He's like, you want some money? And
I am, Ura, we don't meet people like you.
Well, I imagine that I am the only one of me that you have met.
Well, yeah, I don't mean it like that. I mean personality-wise, like generosity-wise.
That's true.
You're something.
Mm-hmm. A good something.
Altruism is an important part of our culture. It helps no one to not aid when you have the ability to.
Oh.
Do you have a best friend?
I have my family, and they are all my best friends.
That's really sweet.
God, that's wholesome.
You know what we do? I don't know if you'd be comfortable with this, but
We
Pinwin
kill
and I are
people
really
with
good
families.
friends, and sometimes he shows his friendship towards me
In
by
a
giving
hug?
me like a really good braid in my hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that too.
Just braid his roots.
Do you want a braid?
I would accept a braid.
Oh.
And now we're going to switch back to Tomar.
That's the best part.
Tomar, you're back in the Wolf's Rest, and suddenly you hear and a large black dragon descends into the city. On its back is Vocha and also Lance.
Nice.
And they land, and everybody kind of gives them a wide berth, and Vocha hops off the dragon, and he waves at you. How's it going, Tomar?
Long time no see, buddy.
Indeed, and he clasps you in the dwarven style with the forearms, and then he turns back, and he lifts his hands up for Lance, and Lance slowly slides out of the saddle on the back, and you see that as he drops, Vocha catches him and kind of holds him, and he looks back at you, Tomar, and he says, "Sorry about this. Lance is feeling a little under the weather." And you look, and you can see that Lance no longer has any legs.
Whoa.
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Whoa. Well, I mean, he doesn't need them. He's got wings. So.
That's true.
Well, not wings enough to fly off the dragon.
Might be something worth noting as well.
Damn, Lance. Who lanced your legs off?
Kill him!
So
Put him out of his misery. Blam!
tell me why you guys deserve 5 points of boon.
We got so much info.
Well, that would
calling
be boon
Ura
to go to
out.
Seth, then.
Yeah.
Good job,
We
Seth.
asked the question.
That's true.
For calling Ura out on his geographical
That was cool.
misconduct.
I like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for picking it up, because I'm like, maybe this is too subtle.
They're too stupid to get
Nope.
this.
I was like, wait a minute.
I would suggest for thinking about how corrupt the wizards could be, and then deciding to do sending outside of the Tower of Wisdom, and also checking in and making plans for Wolves Rest when I was there.
Yeah, that's
Very nice.
good. Even though you sent Nugget. God.
That's perfect. Hopefully they just cannibalize him.
Just tear them apart, limb from limb.
Or they
Hi
think
guys, I'm
we're-
here to parlay with.
Or they think we're the worst people. They're like, this is the representative?
Kill him.
I hate that guy.
It's just a stupid flashlight. Get him. Sorry, I got to do a Venture Brothers reference every episode. It's a quota.
All right, so yeah, you guys can each have 5 points of boon.
Whoa! Really?
Really?
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
And it takes,
sound
what, 50 to get a
unappreciative.
boon now?
Yeah, your next boon.
Wow. Okay.
It's going to
All
take
right.
me many, many times.
Now it's time for tonight's MVPC. Most valuable player character. I want you to vote for the person who deserves an additional 5 points of boon. Now, for you listening at home, Willem is 1, Tomar is 2, Pinwin is 3, and Gorbel is 4. And when I count to 3, you'll raise the corresponding number of fingers to the person that you believe deserves that extra 5 points of boon. So take a moment, decide, and then I will count. Is everyone ready?
Excellent phrasing.
Thank you. I'm feeling very perspicacious today.
Perscaspidus?
Precipitous.
I'm ready.
All right.
Precipitation.
Precipitation?
Perspa capacity.
Flux capacitor.
Perspiratory.
Banana
Chris
bone.
Angel.
Chrysanthemum? Is that what you said?
It's a banana boat.
Oh, I thought he said chrysanthemum.
All right. 1, 2, 3, vote. All right. I can't see yours, Lindsey. Sorry, Pinwin. Okay, so we've got 2 votes for Gorbel, 1 vote for Tomar, and 1 vote for Pinwin. Gorbel, why'd you vote for Tomar?
Okay, so I personally feel like Ura is very forthcoming with information, so I feel like any of us who had stuck around and said something to him, he would have just like spilled the beans because he's amazing, or they are amazing. Excuse me. But Tomar actually had the ability and the idea to go back to Wolves Rest, get Lance, whom we really need for this. So I think that's a really important task that he took on.
Okay, very nice. Willem, why'd you vote for Pinwin?
Even though some of Pinwin's inclinations seem to prohibit or inhibit progression, I can't help but appreciate Pinwin for being Pinwin and sticking with it. And acting most of the time as a foil to Willem's distrusting nature. So yeah, I like that juxtaposition.
Very nice. Tomar, why'd you vote for Gorbel?
I feel like she did most of the legwork, asking the important questions that needed to be asked and getting the information that needed to be get. So yeah, it was probably between her and Pinwin, because Pinwin was also asking a lot of questions. But he did have that argument with me, so he can shove
And I'm
off.
a vengeful person.
And I really liked what Willem came up with, but he also was mostly quiet and invisible for the rest of the episode. But that that was a really good thing to note.
Yeah, I'm actually going to give you a point of boon, Willem, for catching that, and also for remaining completely silent and invisible, despite the fact that it probably, like, most people probably wouldn't do that, but that is a very Willem thing to do. So you can have an extra point of boon.
Sweet.
He was just
Thank
doing
you.
his taxes.
Did those 4 months ago.
Oh shit! Whoops. Pinwin, why'd you vote for Gorbel?
Pretty much what Tomar said. I think sometimes, like, I just get so, like, wow, and then I don't even, like, think of the good questions. So she did a good job of, like, being like, oh yeah, we should know this. So plus, like, the fact that she had Let's Alcohol on her, like, worked out super great, because now that'll be hugely, I don't know, we'll definitely use it. Like, that'll be awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great. And that means tonight's MVPC is Gorbel Icetower. Whoa. Take those 5 points of boon and buy some alcohol that you don't have to get drunk on.
Woo! Give it to someone else.
5 points of booze.
I'll take it from you.
Hey! All right, that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate all that you listeners do, and I know it can be a little bit more trying right now because of the great chocolate milk famine. However, we still appreciate it, and we enjoy producing this content for you, so keep listening, keep downloading, keep checking out our social media. Thanks to Chad Piper for that awesome intro song. Thanks to Adrian Von Ziegler for that beautiful background music. I'm going to thank you listeners again, but I'm also going to include saying, check out our Patreon. Consider making us warlocks.
I would like to add something to that. I noticed recently, and I didn't know this was a feature, but you can see that there's people who just follow your Patreon without becoming supporters. I would like to encourage you folks to make the plunge, because there are some really cool tiers and rewards you can get from doing that.
Yeah, try it out for a month. If you don't like it, I mean, then stop doing it. But I mean, you'll have access to stuff that other people don't, and you'll get access to episodes before anyone else does. So that is an important thing to keep in mind. So yeah, definitely, if you're on the fence, take the plunge, as Tomar said, and just or dip your feet in the water just to see if you like it, because I promise you'll be hard pressed to go back once you see all the stuff that we're offering. So check it out. Consider making us warlocks, and but above all, keep listening and keep commenting, and if you really, really like what you hear, or even kind of like what you hear, consider leaving us a review on iTunes. But that's it for tonight, folks. See you next week. I am your host and DM, Seth, and this is the D20 Syndicate podcast, where we go on adventures so you don't have to. Adios!
Bodega!
Bye.
To do is you just need to eat evil animals that were murderers in their
Ask
life.
them before you kill them. Hey, are
But
you
then
bad?
you absorb their bad energy.
Ooh. I really like the idea of him floating like you thought. Just
I thought babies would have a certain level of like
Buoyancy.
buoyancy.
Yeah.
But he seems like he would sink.
Mm-hmm. Apparently,
he's a dense baby.
Holy fuck! I just found this out though. Apparently, babies, like, if they're dropped in the water, they are buoyant because by instinct they hold their breath, so then they float.
Yeah,
But
isn't it pretty easy to teach like babies to swim, or at least like kind of do a swim?
People will do that now.
They'll naturally like start paddling and stuff like that because they've spent countless
Nature.
months in the womb.
that's wild.
I mean, they don't
Shit.
instantly know how to swim, but they do have people that teach babies how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but don't they pick it up really,
Yeah.
or like
I
pick it
bet
up
they
easily?
could.
You don't have to like verbally explain it to a baby.
Well,
You can
the
just
sea
kinda
baby,
show
you're
them.
doing it wrong.
Agaga goo goo. Goo goo. Go.
I recently started having to go back to work physically, and I had to start putting on shoes again, and I was like, holy shit, this sucks ass,
How does
man.
this even work?
Yeah.
do hate
Well, there was a
wearing
problem with
shoes.
my shoes in that the left one always comes untied. And then I have to go, and then I have to tie it. Like, every time I go to the bathroom, I go tie my shoe, too.
Upgrade to Velcro.
It's upgrade.
Yes.
Staple.
I think we're pointing in the wrong direction for that grade.
I've honestly, since last year, I've just gone full no laces. I didn't think that I would like it because I was like, what the ergonomics of that don't make sense. Like,
what
I would
if
just
you gotta
constantly
kick
be
someone,
walking
then
out
your
of my
shoe's gonna fly off.
But they're snug.
You get the kind that hugs the whole foot.
They're snug. Like, it works. I honestly thought that I was going to be walking around just constantly walking out of my shoes.
Yeah.
But not the case.
And you're
They're
talking about
amazing.
shoes with strings, but you've removed the strings, not slippies?
No. Like shoes that do not have laces.
By design.
Designed to not have laces.
I mean, I have a pair of those. I just
they're awesome.
Well, why don't you wear them?
They're old
called
as
socks.
shit at this point. And,
We'll get some new ones. Fuck.
Yeah.
Whoa! I didn't know this was that heated. This is supposed to be a pleasant rummy cub cast.